Hi everyone. So I wanted to give you some more hints on completing your initial group protocol. So this is going to still be a little bit different because your previous protocol was just the warm-up. So you had practice using the protocol for a warm-up. Now it's going to be for a full group. So there's a couple of things that you're going to want to keep in mind. So what I'm looking at is page 4 in your Cole textbook. So open up to that. This is that 7-step process that Cole talks about when you're leading a group. You're going to actually do this, whereas you didn't do that with your warm-up because you were just doing a warm-up. As I'm thinking about it, just to clarify, you do not have time to do a warm-up when you're actually leading this in class, okay? There's been some confusion with that, so I just want to say that one more time. There is no time for a warm-up, so you're going to follow the 7-step group process that's on page 4. So if you're not looking at that, open that up, get your textbook out and look at that. So the steps include introduction, activity, sharing, processing, etc. Okay? So when we led groups in activity analysis, you did the introduction and you led the group, the activity, okay? And that was helpful for the purpose of what we were just learning and what we knew about at that time. Now we're going to take it a step further. We're going to actually make it more of a therapeutic group. And one of the things that does that is these last steps 3 through 7, okay? So you're going to want to make sure that you include that in your group planning. So if you look at the protocol, where you're going to really focus on how you're going to do that is in this steps sequencing and timing, okay? So as you're thinking about leading the group, think about, okay, you're going to do the introduction, you're going to do the activity, but a lot of the therapeutic part of the group happens after you actually do the activity. And so that's when you get the group thinking and talking about what was it like doing the activity? Why did we do that activity? What emotions or experiences happened to you? Those are those last steps. It's really the sort of metacognition about the group that you have happening. Now, of course, depending on the intellectual level of your group, you may do this more in depth, or you may do more of a led part of this. And if you want some help with kind of problem solving that, please reach out to me for your specific situation. But the purpose of me doing this video is to point you toward this particular resource and to make sure that you're using what you know and what you've learned as part of this class. So use these 7 steps to help you figure out what are you going to do during your group and how are you going to make it therapeutic. Okay? So the other thing I wanted to talk to people about is I think some of you have shared that you're really feeling disconnected, and to some degree that's normal, I think, given our current situation. But I think for your learning purposes, you're going to have to be intentional about reaching out to others. It used to be that you were in class all day or waiting around for class if it was a break, and you had people right there available to help you kind of problem solve and to kind of talk through some of this learning process. That's a valuable part of the learning process. And so now that that's not readily available to you, I think you need to be intentional about doing that, whether it's reaching out to me and or reaching out to your peers. So we have to be intentional about it because it's just not set up like it was before. So if you're one of the folks that are feeling kind of left out or kind of lost or stuck, I would encourage you to take advantage of the resources that you have available. We are maybe not meeting together in person, but you certainly have the contact information from everyone and are able to reach out by email. If not, get their phone number, or I know you guys have a Facebook or some other means of connecting. Please reach out to do that. It's not as informal as it was. You're going to have to be intentional about it. So I would encourage you to do that, especially if you're feeling stuck or feeling lost. Reach out to your peers or to myself.